Hello, my reading friends. Welcome back to the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation community. My name is Melissa. I am the community manager, and today we are going to talk about a very exciting topic, and that is preparing for Jane Austen July. I'm really excited because this is the first year that we have had our community space, and Jane Austen July can really be a community effort here. Thank you so much. I just want to say first off to Katie from I believe it's Books and Things, Claudia from Spinster's Library, and Miriam from Blatantly Bookish. I will tag all of their YouTube channels down below, but they are the creators of Jane Austen July here on YouTube. And I believe they said in their videos that this is the 7th year that it has been running, which is just amazing. It's such a fun challenge. I have done it on my own before, and I am excited now that we get to do it together. So I will be sharing a little bit today about some picks that I am going to be grabbing for the prompts. I will have a printable, or you can screenshot on your phone version of the prompts to make it a little easier. I know sometimes I'm always having to run to YouTube channels or back to Goodreads to try to remember what the prompts are. So this way you can have it in one space to remind you and cross them off as you're going, just as you do when we have our monthly reading challenges. So that will be available, link down below, and I have that prepared. And I thought I would first off kind of walk you through so you're familiar with what the prompts are for Jane Austen July. I'll show you what I'm possibly thinking of reading. I'm definitely a mood reader, so this is an ever-changing list of books, but this is kind of just what I am planning on starting off with. And then I will do some follow-up videos with some more recommendations for you. If you are new to Austen, hopefully it will give you some ideas. If you are a seasoned Jane Austen reader and you're looking to branch out in some of the other prompts and find new things, hopefully I will have some recommendations that are new to you there. I just have to say that this smock top always makes me feel very Amy from Little Women when she goes off and she is living her best painter life. I feel like this kind of channels that feeling of her. Do you ever find that your clothes make you think of different literary characters? Is it just me? But I really love the vibe from something that I'm wearing, and often I think of it in terms of bookish characters. So just a little side note of how I see things. All right, let's get started with the prompts. So obviously it would not be a Jane Austen July without reading a Jane Austen novel. And I know that when I was watching Claudia's video and Katie's video, they both mentioned that they were going to start with a read along with Sense and Sensibility for this year, and that it would be, I believe, 3 chapters a day, and then 4 chapters for the last few days. And that would be through, I believe, the 15th of July. Like I said, you can check their channels for more details, but I thought, why not read what they are reading and join in the fun? So I grabbed a copy I have of Sense and Sensibility. I have actually not read this copy. I've been trying to find all of the books. I've been buying these used, and they are a very hard edition to find, at least here in the States. I believe they're published, it says, by Worth Press Limited in Cambridge in the UK. I am determined I am going to find them all. I think I have 3 or 4 of them, so I'm getting close. But they just have the most stunning artwork in here. It has this gorgeous opening, and I find the text to be really easy on the eyes, really easy to read. I do have quite sensitive eyes. I'm on the computer a lot during the day, so maybe it's just also my age, but I really look at the font of a book to see if it's going to be a frustrating read or easy. So this is going to be, oh, and the one other thing that I really like about this book is that it has different notes here in the beginning, geographical settings. It has this really amazing timeline here. So if you happen to see this, you can get your hands on it. I would highly recommend. But Sense and Sensibility will be my read along with Jane Austen July group. All right, the next prompt says to read something by Jane Austen that is not one of her main 6 novels. So for this, I thought I would go with this gorgeous the illustrated letters, if you can see them, the illustrated letters of Jane Austen. Um, it's going to be fun to read through this. This also has a lot of historical information as well as some gorgeous artwork throughout. And I really think, even if I don't make it through this whole entire book, I will feel that I am getting a little closer to Jane through reading these. Also, we really encourage you to include audiobooks as well. That 100% counts as reading. If you are a member of the Friends of the Foundation, our Patreon community, you get a monthly narrated letter of Jane Austen's by some award-winning audiobook narrators. That's really fun, and you could always peruse through our past catalog of those and count that as your exploration of another of Jane Austen's writings. Her letters obviously have a very different feel than her books, but her wit and her unique way of writing, I feel, still really shines through. Prompt number 3 is read a nonfiction work about Jane Austen or her time. There are so many books to choose for this. I think this could be an entire video on its own. But listening to Katie and Claudia, I believe they both recommended The Real Jane Austen by Paula Byrne. I had this on my shelf. I have not read it yet. So I thought this was the universe telling me that it is time to read this book. And I don't know much about it. I believe that it is broken up by chapters, and each chapter is connected to an object that was a part of Jane Austen's life in some way. So we have the family profile, the East India shawl, the subscription list, the card of lace, box of letters, etc., etc. So that will be an exciting read to perhaps get through for Jane Austen July. All right, the fourth prompt we have is read a retelling of a Jane Austen book or a work of historical fiction set in Jane Austen's time. Again, there could be so many options for this. So I tried to limit myself to 3 that I would possibly get through. And these are actually ones that I have pretty recently grabbed from library sales. So they're fresh on my shelf. And that's why I think they were top of mind for me. I've listed this as one that I might read for June, so I might just hold off and do it for July. But it is Godmersham Park by Jill Hornby. This is the true story of Anne Sharp, the Austen family governess. And I must admit, I do not know much about this topic at all. So this could be a great one to get through. I also have, set this over here. My stack starts getting really high as I'm setting them to the side of the desk. I found this one in a library sale a few weeks ago. A Visit to Highbury, Another View of Emma. I do not know anything about this. It just was one of those as we were looking through the books at the sale. I think my mom grabbed this one out and said, "Oh, you might be interested in this." And I said, "Why not?" So it says, Joan Austen Leigh is the great granddaughter of Jane Austen's nephew, James Edward Austen Leigh, who wrote the celebrated memoir of his aunt. So yeah, this could be a good possible read. And then also I have this. I need to take the library cover off. They're very glary on these videos. I do apologize. But I know that Alexander McCall Smith has a best-selling women's mystery detective agency series that is very popular. So I am really intrigued to see how he would turn that into a modern retelling of Emma. It says his gentle satire and cozy old-fashioned sensibility proved to be the perfect match for Jane Austen's wit and characters. Though carriages have been replaced by Mini Coopers and cups of tea with cappuccinos, Emma's story is wonderfully timeless. So that could end up as a possible read for Jane Austen July. All right, prompt number 5. A book by a contemporary of Jane Austen. This one was a little bit trickier for me because I am still kind of exploring the classics and contemporaries, and they can be a bit difficult to get through. Sometimes I do like to listen to them in audiobook form. There are a few YouTube channels that I've been watching lately that have really been helping me to understand the classics more. It has been a long time since I took a literary criticism class, but it is something that I am wanting to explore a bit more and I'm getting into. So I looked through what I had here at home because I am really trying to read things off my shelf and I get sucked into way too many books at the library and everything looks interesting. So I wanted to see, what do I have that could be a contemporary of Austen? And there was not many to choose from, but I did pick up recently this little tiny um, Signet Classic version of The House of Seven Gables. This is by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and it says he was born on July 4th, 1804. So I am going to go ahead and say this falls into Austen's contemporaries, even though he did not write it while Austen was alive. Maybe it's a little bit of a cheat, but don't tell anyone. It's our secret. All right. Problem number 6 is a direct screen adaptation of a Jane Austen book. There are so many to pick from this. My son and I love watching Northanger Abbey together. That is one of our favorites. So that could be in the running. It could be a great excuse to rewatch the 1995 Pride and Prejudice miniseries because that's not a short series and I don't get around to it all that often. Maybe every 3 years or so do I get a chance to watch that. So that could be a possibility. And I realize it has been a long time since I watched the Gwyneth Paltrow version of Emma, and I don't even really remember my thoughts on that. So as much as I absolutely love the Anna Taylor-Joy version of Emma, it might be time to go back and revisit Gwyneth Paltrow's version and see how that measures up. And then prompt number 7 is watch a modern screen adaptation of Jane Austen, a Jane Austen book. So we do here on the channel have a Sanditon season 2 that so many members of the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation got together and did during COVID, and it is amazing. If you haven't watched that yet, I will leave a link to the playlist down below. So that is always fun to watch. And then there were some that Katie shared that I have not seen before, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, and there was a few others that they mentioned that it's not an area that I've explored at all. So I would love to have your recommendations of which one should I start with. What are your favorites for kind of loose retellings of Jane Austen novels that are adapted for film or TV or here on YouTube even? I think that wraps up everything that I am hoping to get to for Jane Austen July. It is going to be a busy month of reading. Maybe I'll also see if I can find some of these in audiobook form through the library so I can listen to them that way. But I really do, just like we have our monthly challenges, the spirit of it is just to explore. And if you open up a book and you get through part of it, that is just enjoying reading. There's no pressure to have to read every single word through the book. Just have fun, read, enjoy it. And this month, let's get to know Jane Austen in some new and exciting ways. I wish you all very happy reading, and I will see you in the next video.